cut off all my friends. This sucks. This is lonely. The only thing that matters to me is fulfilling my purpose. I really don't give a fuck about anything else. Wouldn't want to live. I was living by man's rules, making me go to therapy. I don't talk to anybody about how I feel. Everybody should go ghost. Every man needs to go through a period of their life where they just go fucking ghost. Where they just say fuck it and they go ghost and they go all in their fucking goals. And I'm not talking about cutting off everybody in your fucking life. I'm not talking about going ghost forever. I'm not talking about going ghost and being a fucking loser. I'm talking about going ghost to actually get to know yourself, to cancel out all the fucking noise, to get to know God, and to discover your true fucking purpose. 2 years ago, it was either 2 or 3 years ago, that's when I decided to go ghost. And I'm still in that mode right now. But 2 to 3 years ago, I decided to go ghost. I decided I was tired of my situation. I was tired of how I was living. I was tired of not living up to my full fucking potential. So I made the decision to go ghost. And I cut off all my friends because all my friends, they weren't aligned with where I wanted to go. And I knew if I kept them in my life that I was going to stay in the exact position for years to fucking come. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped drinking. I stopped chasing endless entertainment. I stopped looking to have fun, right? I stopped all these things that are just so normal nowadays to everybody. The world tells you what you should be doing. You should enjoy your 20s. My perspective completely fucking changed during these past 2 to 3 years on everything. When you go ghost, that's when you get to know yourself the most, right? Because there was a point in my life where I thought I knew myself. Honest to God, I thought I knew myself, but I actually didn't. And I didn't realize that until I went ghost 2 to 3 years ago. And there was this specific moment where I was just sitting in my room and I'm sitting there, I'm just like, this sucks. This is lonely. There's no way I can continue to go forward with this. And something inside of me just shifted. And I realized that life isn't just about what you want to do. Life is about fulfilling your purpose, right? And living to be the man God is calling you to be. And anything else in life, it's just fuck it. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is fulfilling your purpose, right? And to me especially, like, the only thing that matters to me is fulfilling my purpose. It's sad to say, but guys, I really don't give a fuck about anything else but fulfilling my purpose, but becoming that best version of myself. That's the only thing that matters to me. And I feel like without that, without working towards that best version of yourself, there's just no reason to even fucking live. If I wasn't working towards becoming the best version of myself in every single area of my fucking life, then I wouldn't want to live. Honestly, God, I wouldn't want to live, because life is just meaningless at that point. It's like a harsh truth almost, right? Most people don't want to hear it, but that's the fucking truth, right? Because if you're just living by your own standards and you're just reporting to man and you're not reporting above, then you are always going to have this empty fucking feeling within you. And I went years of having this empty feeling within me because I was just reporting to man. I was living by man's rules. I wasn't living by God's rules. I wasn't reporting above, right? Don't ever report to man, guys. Report above. But I was lost. I got stuck in the cycle of, you know, working all week and then looking forward to the weekends to go get absolutely blacked out drunk, right? Looking forward to the weekends to drink. Looking forward to the weekends to fucking fuck multiple women. Looking forward to the weekends to hang out with people who weren't gonna benefit me in the end. Looking forward to just degeneracy. And I was stuck like this for fucking years. And it never brought me anything but more pain. And by more pain, I mean just filling the cup of that empty feeling inside me. And it got to the point where that cup was filled. And that's what led me to making the decision to go ghost. And me making that decision 2 to 3 years ago was probably the best thing that ever happened in my life. Because once you get to understand where you want to go in life and what you feel your purpose is, everything just starts to click and everything just becomes crystal fucking clear, right? I didn't always think like this. And by this, I mean, I didn't always think that life is about becoming the best version of yourself and becoming the man God is calling you to be. I never thought life was about that. I always thought life was about just living life to the max, since we have just such a fucking short life. And that reflected the way I was living, which was always looking forward to the weekend. You work during the week, looking forward to Friday because you get paid, and then going and blowing that whole check all weekend. Guys, I'd blow my entire check at the bar. It was either at the bar or I'd blow my entire check on weed, right? And guess what? That would have kept me stuck there. I decided one day to make a fucking change, and now I'm here. 3 years later, I'm here and I'm progressing in every single area of my life. Am I exactly where I want to be? No. But if I sit here and I look back 2 to 3 years ago, there's a big fucking difference from who I was then to who I am now during this time of me going Ghost. I, honest to God, I really just started to value everything in my life. Like, before going Ghost, I didn't have enough appreciation for the things that I already had, because I always wanted more. I always wanted more. I mean, to this day, I still want more, but I also appreciate the things that I have. Like, for example, I have a bed I get to lay in at night. I have food in the fridge. Like, just little tiny shit like that I really, really appreciate, and I'm really grateful to have. And even, like, there's times where I'm just outside, guys, and I'll just sit there and I'll look off in the distance, especially when I'm in a wooded area. I'll look off into the distance and be like, damn, I really, like, appreciate this fucking view. And it kind of just, like, brings peace to my soul, that something like that really makes me grateful. I really appreciate some shit like that. And once you have that perspective, everything in life, like everything that you thought you ever wanted, it's just meaningless, I should say. Like, once I get the things that I want, that I'm working towards, it's just gonna be, oh, all right, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. It's gonna feel good, but after that fucking feeling wears off, it's gonna be like, oh, okay. You know, like, just like everything else. Like, for example, when you guys get a new pair of shoes, you're all excited because you got a new pair of shoes, but then you wear them for a while, and it's just like, okay. But at first, you really wanted those shoes, but after you started wearing them, after a while, it just became normal. Like, shit just becomes normal, right? And I'm not saying that shit doesn't feel like that now, but what I'm really saying is you really start to appreciate the shit that you have, right? And the shit that you really thought you wanted doesn't really mean anything once you get it. It gives you that that feeling of pleasure right there in that moment, but it's just meaningless, right? Before I went Ghost, I had a lot of friends, right? I had a big friend group in high school. I just had a lot of friends in general. Like, even after high school, I had a lot of friends. But once I went Ghost, once I stopped drinking, once I stopped smoking, once I stopped partying, once I stopped doing all the degenerate shit, nobody hit me up. But when I was doing that degenerate shit, my phone was blowing up every Friday, every weekend. Or just, like, even during the week, like, people were like, hey man, you going out this weekend? I'm like, hell yeah, bro, we're going out this weekend. Just shit like that. Nobody hits me up now. So it really revealed to me who the true motherfuckers are, right? And I was a little upset about that, right? It made me feel down almost, but part of me expected that to happen. Because when you finally decide to start working on yourself in a positive way, people out there view that as if you're trying to be better than them. And that's why most people just vanish, right? And most people you'll never hear from again. But like I was saying, guys, I knew that was gonna happen, but at the same time, I didn't know if that makes sense, right? So it kind of made me a little upset, but it'll benefit you in the end because all the people who were dragging you down to begin with are just gone. So you have no more distractions. All that noise is gone. You won't have any temptations, right? And even if you do have temptations, you don't give in. That's where that unbreakable mindset comes in. The most important thing of just going ghost in general and canceling out the outside noise, when you do that, there will be a moment during your isolation period that God just fully reveals himself to you. He fully reveals himself to you. And I can't pinpoint the exact time God revealed himself to me. I can't pinpoint the exact day, but I remember it. So I'm just sitting there in my room one day, stressing about if I'm making the right decision, if the work I'm putting in is gonna pay off. Because at this time, I didn't know if I was even doing the right thing to get the outcome that I want, or that I wanted, I should say. Something changed in me that day. Like another side of me really just like opened up. And it gave me it gave me a whole nother way to view the world and view life. Almost like I was on a different plane almost. And this is more of a spiritual awakening, I should say. And I don't know how this became my own thinking, but after that day, after I had that spiritual awakening, after I felt that shift in me, and I started viewing the world differently, what was brought to my attention was that our inner voice that we think is our conscience, that we think is our own voice, it was brought to my attention that that's God's voice. Because I found myself in situations where this inner voice was telling me what to do and what not to do, right? What was right and what was wrong. Almost like I already knew the outcomes before I made the decision. So I started listening to this voice, and it seemed that as long as I listened to this voice, that I was going to get the outcome I wanted. Even if the outcome wasn't right there and then, I always just got the outcome I wanted. And as soon as I started listening to this voice even more, I started obeying fully. That's when my life really started to change. I just felt this nudge almost to start listening to it. Like, so someone brought that to my attention, right? And I believe that was God, right? Because who else would it be? And then like after that, I'm not too sure how long after that, my vision became crystal clear to me, guys. I was always passionate about fitness because fitness saved my life. When my mother passed away, putting all my feelings, everything that I felt into the weights was the only thing that made me feel better. No matter who I talked to, it didn't matter if it was a fucking therapist, because there was a time where the school tried making me go to therapy, but that didn't work. That shit doesn't work, guys, but that's a whole other topic for a different video. Therapy didn't work. Talking to my family didn't work. Talking to just anybody, it didn't work. The only thing that really worked was just going down into the weight room, I was in school at the time, just going and smashing a fucking workout. That was the only thing that helped me. And to this day, it still helps me. That's just how I cope. I don't talk to anybody about how I feel. I just go and I throw some weights around and I feel fucking better. Because that feeling after a hard workout, nobody could ever make me feel like that but those weights. So that's why fitness was I really fell in love with it. I fell in love with the game of just lifting weights and how to build the body, right? But like I said, guys, fitness was always my passion. And it became clear to me during this time of isolation that I should be a fitness coach, right? Because guys, I always had the vision of just making a significant amount of money. And I knew personal training wouldn't give me that, because I knew personal trainers would only make $15 an hour. And even to this day, they were making like $20 an hour. You can't get wealthy off of $20 an hour, guys. But one thing you can get wealthy off of is starting your own business, which is what I did, which is the whole reason I'm recording this fucking YouTube video in the first place, is to grow my goddamn business. So that's exactly what I'm doing. It became crystal clear to me during that time, like, hey, this is your vision, so pursue it. And so I was like, fuck, okay. I was like, okay, let's do it. And fast forward a few years later, here I am doing that same exact thing, right? No matter how long it takes, no matter what, I'm just gonna stick this fucking out, because I would rather die than not work towards my vision, than not pursue my vision. That's how much that vision has to mean to you guys. It has to be life or death, or else you're just not gonna get anywhere, ever in life. Just let God lead you, guys. He'll never lead you wrong. That's another thing I learned during this time of isolation, of going ghost, is that God will never lead you down the wrong path. If you just obey and you let him lead you and you keep your head in that scripture, that's everything that you need to walk your path fully and in the right manner. Because the Bible has plenty of examples of people who didn't fully adhere to their vision. And then they have people who did fully obey, fully adhere to their vision. Just open up your Bible anytime you're feeling some type of way. And that's something I gotta start doing myself. Like right before this video, guys, I was feeling very fucking stressed. I was very stressed out about a lot of shit. I'm recording this fucking video. It's 11:33 p.m. at night. And I still have to edit a whole other video to get out tonight, and this one. That's why I was very stressed out. But like I said, one thing I gotta do is just start opening up my Bible and reading, because the answers are always in there. The answers are always within. Everybody should go ghost, guys, at least once in their life. Because if you never go ghost, you'll never get to know yourself. Because we're always just so distracted with social media, with our phones, with other people's opinions. We're always distracted with this noise that we never really get to know ourselves or God. That's why this isolation period and going ghost is very fucking important, because if you never ever go ghost, you're done. You're never gonna figure out what your purpose is on this earth. You're never going to live a life of fulfillment if you never go ghost. And did I know all this shit before I went ghost? No. But all this was through experience. And guys, I'm still in that isolation. I'm still in the ghost mode right now, right? I believe I'm getting towards the end of it and everything's about to pay off, but I just have to keep pushing forward no matter what. Even if it doesn't pay off soon, I'm still gonna keep pushing forward no matter how long it fucking takes. You guys have to be willing to push forward and fully adhere to your vision. It's that simple. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, because it's fucking not. It's going to be hard. It's gonna be one of the hardest things you do in life, but guess what comes from doing hard shit? Growth. Everybody always avoids the hard shit. Everybody always avoids the pain. That's why nobody ever grows. As any time that you have an opportunity at hand that seems to be hard for you, right? And Reality is not hard, it's just new. So anything that makes you uncomfortable, run towards it. Any pain, run towards it. Any adversity, run towards it. Because you're always going to come out a better version of your fucking self. So guys, when I talk about ghosts, I'm not talking about just going and removing everybody from your life. I'm talking about just going all in on yourself. Going all in on that vision that you have. That's all I'm talking about. And anything that gets in the way, any distraction, you have to remove. Or else you'll never unlock that inner voice, which is God's voice. Or else you'll never get to know yourself. A lot of people leave this earth without knowing themselves. And they leave this earth with so much fucking regret. So don't be one of them motherfuckers. Guys, it's time to go ghost. It's your time. We're getting to the end of the fucking year. You still have time left. So don't waste any more of it. Guys, I fucking love you, and I'll see you in the next one.